Francis Bene ewa homa so wam dia betu Bangfudeme wam dia betu dwa se nei yera Attafuah wam pam no Francis Matia na pay.
Hello
Matia Francis.
Yes yo.
Maybe oba.
Oh sorry
mo me das. Me voice mo do on. Francis Anapay, Yahoo press release be among about Monteso.
Yes.
Yera Attafuah and the Ghana for him said that cardinal issue near dear, where issue are, or say where issue am another support. Emma, a year easy for crass, one shall cry, the bet me I registration near the Akotoaba. Yeah, that's why yes, some see and Pamno. Then I cost.
Unfortunately, I'm a tuning shadow and yet papa for public consumption. I can't.
What dear Cabrofuna may have met me and no Cabrofana pay.
Yes.
But you're catching now what me boy.
Oh, Mickey.
And to them be so tree none of the Prof and Yanko.
Yes, none of the about in Prof. That's fine. So it is true. As for Professor Attafuah and then his efforts to build NIA. It can be seen in the public eyes. We all appreciate him, and especially being able to create a 275 district offices across the country. That's phenomenal. We are appreciative for that effort. However, the fundamental challenge we have amidst all of these things, he alone as Professor Attafuah could not have done this without the complement of the human resources around him. And then the welfare of the human resource that supports him to achieve the mandate of the authority are also very important. Now, our challenge is that the people that work for Professor Attafuah to attain all of these successes, their welfare needs are not well catered for. You have employed staff who have sacrificed and worked relentlessly for you and the authority, yet they do not have an established conditions of service. Now, we were employed to have this document, conditions of service, and by extension, we are only enjoying the basic salary without any form of allowance to complement our good works. Fast forward, we have ourselves.
A moment. For how long, Nina, was our problem? Before, what was on your contract? Your mom contract, some then another contract. So, yes, it will be a allowance. And then what is on your contract?
A very good question. If you look at the assignment of any staff and you can ask for it, then what is indicated there is that your conditions of service will be subject to the provisions of the Public Services Commissions Act. Now, the Act requires that enterprise-based individual public institutions must then design their own conditions of service, tailor it to reflect the nature and mandate of your work. So there is room for NIA as an institution to then design their own conditions of service. In other jurisdictions, this document would be made public, and then when they are recruiting staff, they will make it available to the staff outside at the point of recruitment. But in our case, we're only told that our condition of service will be subject to the provisions of the Public Service Commissions Act. We entered and hoping to see this document. It never came up. And also we're told that it is still work in progress. They are working on it, and then it will be completed in due time. For over 2 years since we have been engaged, we have never seen improvement in it. And then he went around the whole country, in all the 6 regions of the country, to make us understand that, yes, our condition of service is in progress, and he has submitted a draft document to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission for consideration. And very shortly, your condition of service would be enhanced, completed and enhanced, and your earnings will change. Now, he made staff as well to know the nature of this document, what allowances he has put forward that we will be entitled to, and that will better our lives. We're all happy and being very hopeful. Hopeful for over a year and a half. Still, no good news. Then we started pressing home our demands for it to be expedited so that our lives also change, especially this excruciating pains of economic hardships that we're all facing.
Maybe, sir, do you think you deserve allowances? What have you done
What have we done? Yes, currently as we speak, you and I speaking, we are currently at the Fairway and Sales Commission negotiating for these allowances. We have submitted, we have requested as part of our right that we want to negotiate our collective agreement, our condition of service into a collective agreement. Then we both sign it and it's binding on us all. So when you don't do it, we have the right to take you on. We are slow on that negotiations. But instead of him to support us, we are not seeing that effort of him to support us. The union has informally on several occasions attempted to guide him, to speak with him informally, to let him understand that this and this is what you need to do.
Maybe how were you expecting him to support you? You've gone to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to negotiate some of these conditions of service. And Mufil said, more expensive on your day.
My sister,
my brother.
Fair Wages on their own are also acting with instructions from above. But when you sit down and you think that Fair Wages by their own, unless they equally even get a mandate from Minister of Finance, they will not be able to negotiate with you. And that remains our challenge now. Now, what the Prof have done, all of us know in this country how influential this man has been, and if any issue is dear to his heart, it is not beyond his capacity to do it. You know his personal relationship with the president, his personal relationship with the vice president. Why can't he leverage on that? He could speak to the executive. The executive has given the mandate to rule NIA. When the staff tell you that they are not happy and you know it is a reality on the ground, what are you supposed to do? Send this feedback to the presidency that my people are brought in to help me execute the mandate of the authority. And for what all Ghanaians are seeing the good works of the authority, they are hungry. We need A, B, C, and D to complement the element for them to be peaceful. He hasn't done that for us.
And maybe say a question back when you know, maybe say, do you think said you might for more deserve it allowances now open and I can try about me boy?
Of course, we deserve those allowances.
I didn't hear. What have you done there? Then my young Mutsu said, more deserve allowance.
Wow. So you if I want to talk on the potentials, the good work of the staff, the day will break.
Well,
Now,
that is what.
Let me give essential ones. I'll just give you a few ones. You've asked a very beautiful question. I'll give you a few ones. Now, today as we speak, courtesy of the effort and the good work of the staff of this authority, the importance of the Ghana card is seen everywhere. NIA Casa, it is the sole source of identity at SNP, at controller, at driver's license, in almost all the sectors of the economy. Any crime committed anywhere and the person has a Ghana card, it makes it easy for the police through NIA to be able to identify the person and do proper investigations to fish out the person. Criminal conducts are reducing. Fighting crimes are reducing. Fighting corruptions are reducing. The authority is also being able to generate a lot of revenues, go to controller and accountant general. Because Ghana card is now used as a sole source of identity as controller, a lot of those names are eliminated, and that has saved Ghana a lot of money. Go to SNIT. Because Ghana card is now being used as a sole source of identity for SNIT contributors, a lot of those names, those pensioners have been eliminated. Both National Service Secretariat, a lot of good service personnel have been eliminated. All these are cost-saving benefits to the state. And quite apart from that, every day we work, we generate revenue through our operational activities. People do replacement, people do updates, foreigners do enroll their cars and they pay $120. $20 comes into authority's account. So there is sufficient revenue. So the staff who are working to do all of these things. Now,
so these are things that we all know and we see, and that is what I started with. All the to can said the NIA and for sure munya wo madwuma mu a all the to one level improvement they saying.
Of course, it has moved the economy fast forward. Tax contributors, according to the Vice President himself, has increased from 4% to 85%. And that means that more revenue, tax revenue is coming to the economy. And almost all the banking sectors, now banks and financial institutions in Ghana, as we speak, are able to guarantee loans to applicants, to clients, without guarantors, because the Ghana card has the capability to enable the bank to track down the applicant if the applicant defaults in payment of the loan.
And the allowances, no, quite best, as in extra duty allowance, ebia,
okay, so I can say, for instance, Ghana under government of Ghana, Secretary every the office of the presidency, your friend office of the government machinery, Osha Kokulopak, Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, the government pays them government machinery allowance. Oko other public institutions, the government pays them retention premium or market premium. Now, yes, so I am at the same office of the government machine. The pay slipper, office of the government machinery. Now, office of the government machinery allowance for any other institutions. You're not paying NIS staff. Aren't we also government machinery employees? Retention premium, we provide essential services to this country, and we are deserving to retain these critical service providers in order to continue execute the mandate of the authority. Retention premium. Now you look at you and I speaking, our data, you provide the data to us in confidentiality, and we're supposed to protect it with the highest level of integrity. The potential of that data being compromised will depend on how well paid the employee or the staff is. Your data is your private information, confidential information, but as you speak, the staff, when they're hungry enough, they can compromise the integrity of the data at the authority. Imagine that people, you know how desperate many people are. People come in, they want to massage their date of birth, they want to massage their personal records to keep the stage. The staff are able to do good job, good night, and perfect all of these things. When you don't pay them well and they become agitated, they have serious issues to resolve. And you come to me that, oh, help me, I want to change my date of birth from this to this. Even though it will go against the state in terms of revenue, in terms of everything, and also preventing the potential of financial from getting job. And you're able to win to offer me 2,000 Ghana cedis. I'm hungry in my office, thinking of how to go and eat, how to pay my kids' school fees. And I sit down and put my out and say, I'm an angel, I won't take it.
Francis,
I will be honored to the state.
Francis, I don't cry that one, Mumu be here. Sorry, MJ. Mumu be here. Apart from.
It's not feasible. This is a human institution. And this is the reason why that the welfare of the staff has to be addressed as a matter of agency to curtail all of those things.
Apart from allowances,
you can't continue to be addressing those things verbally without also play your part when you need to pay the employees well.
Until we allowances in free on KB Mamma, then Bium, and more challenge.
Now, OSHA allowance, that's a major thing that is hurting the staff. Now, when you now look back and look at his conduct towards staff in terms of unfair labor practices and other operational matters, then we feel aggrieved. You can't unfair labor practices, OSHA officers, you will start via or in action positions. Last year alone, we have over 100 staff of the authority that have resigned from their job because of the poor conditions of service, and they have gone to other areas. Now, when they resign, most of them are district heads. Now that they are no longer there, you have asked the immediate subordinates to take over and play their roles. Now, the labor laws of this country demand that when you ask such a person to take over the duty of a superior officer, you ought to write officially to the person so that by that letter, you'll be able to pay the person action allowance. We have a lot of staff across the country who have been in acting positions for over a year. Or more letters are expressed they should be in acting positions, and by extension, pay them their action allowance for over a year, and they are still acting. Attafuah hasn't paid them those monies. You have got unfair dismissal of staff. You can't say, OSHA, just as you are talking, staff are hungry. Now say, oh, by the office, and I take very good care of you. While you are living, you say, oh, Francis, thanks for your good work. Then I accept that one Ghana cedi from you, or I accept that pure water you have given to me, or bottle water you have given to me. But on that basis, it comes to the attention of the executive secretary, and he sacks me because I've accepted a gift I have not demanded from the client. Is it a fair practice. It's a fair labor practice, especially when we don't have an established policy on this by the authority. In another instance, you look at a time when there were high pressure at the various district offices. Everybody, as a leader, you adapt your own innovative ways to be able to address the concerns of the staff at the district offices. Now, so bit me Juma in summer by 7 or Honum Africans are mobile home to get Ghana Carter. Or see, because of by virtue of the fact that Nipana Bajima early enough. On that basis, the conduct violates the standard operating procedures of NIA. And are you being fair and honest to the person? Are you being fair to us?
Wababa your connection now to me at the Jinkro for Sikantamas or Master.
You have not been, my sister, if you were able to establish that on record, the person comes early to do connection, dubious work, extort money from Africans and serve them. That's a criminal conduct, and I would never speak on it on any day. But the fact that the person comes to work early enough to attend to clients, and the person asks me that, yes, I did so to be able to manage the pressure, and you sack the person on those bases. How do you expect us to fail when, especially, you are not putting up any efforts to address our poor conditions of service?
Now, most senators say some name, what's a natural violation of Senate Act 2?
Yes. OSHA, minimum contributions, sir. When they pay your contributions today to SNIT will put it into investment. And then your infrastructure, dividends onto your investment, into your SNIT contributions, so that when you go on retirement, they'll be able to pay you good lump sum and monthly remittance. Now, when you don't pay those monies on time and you withhold them for any given period of time, you are hurting the potential returns of the contributor when he goes on retirement. And this is what Prof. Attafuah has done to some of the contract staff whose earnings are already low, and you have withheld their contributions for a period of time. He was sanctioned by Public Accounts Committee. But we're just saying that even the sanction given to him is not enough. When someone accepts gifts by extension, accept gifts at workplace, he sacks the person. If he has withheld the contribution of staff for a period of time without paying them, asking him to pay fines on that is not sufficient. The president has also sacked him in equal measure for that conduct because the future returns of these employees are affected by all standards by that particular conduct.
Francis, and somehow Abrushi, Emudia President Pamno, more condition of service, which also Moshe Jubilee. So, have you addressed some Anamaka Huno? I mean, Sebia. Wabakura no bi abansi kebi ode ne sabom ana bibisa
in NIA Prof. Attafuah NIA papa, we can never jump in. You can't even get a chance to jump in and go to the president to talk about your allowances or your condition of service. No matter what you do, the president will not talk to you directly. He will talk to you through Attafuah. Now, when
and Attafuah is not listening to you. He doesn't want to hear your grievances.
Exactly, that's the problem. And so that's why we're asking him out. They will know that we are fatherless. And when we are fatherless, as often as we are speaking, perhaps the president will listen to us.
More HR or more officer?
Yeah, what are
HR.
And look what we are attending. I can say, poor corporate governance structure. Also, NIA can say we are big authority like NIA. You were 9 directives. Technical data about now, technical data by Public Service Commission standards. Rising through all the ranks and experiences of the job to the highest level to be called a director by Public Service Commission standards. Also, NIA, apart from that of audit, you need director via NIA. And he has been working for all these years without technical directors. He's not a technical man, so he will be able to appreciate the significance of employee welfare. But a director of human resource who have gone through the ranks will be able to appreciate and know that this is a fundamental issue that can derail the potential gains of this authority within 24 hours. And so he will not have joked with it. That is part of our agitations, that the absence of these technical directors is creating a lot of operational deficiencies in NIA, and that is manifested by way of our absence of conditions of service. And if you will be saying the aspect of human resource, and if I acting position, operations, corporate affairs, acting positions.
And these are not
people who are technical directors, so they will not have the ability to be able to appreciate the concerns, and even what will be their capacity to even talk to him directly. A technical director who has gone to the rank would challenge you on authority, on principle, and ensuring that he knows his job and would insist that the right things are done. In the absence of them, he does what he wants to do.
And to create a Mondiabeto Montin Sui, say President was one Nefano. And I card no so my mayor. Or your card no come out. And you want the amending.
He has the power to appoint or otherwise and dismiss as well. Now, Onua and say Ghana card an authority are so dear to his heart. And then the people who work for this authority, over 920 of them have come together and say that we have lost confidence in the appointment of his, in the administration of his appointee, and for that matter, only in Honoma. If he fails to do so, I believe he knows the consequences of that. It means that he doesn't want MLA to grow. He doesn't want MLA to progress. He doesn't want Ghana to progress because Ghana now is Ghana.
When you know the card no when we get there, we'll advise ourselves accordingly. It's early days yet for us to preempt what we'll be doing. But we're looking forward within a reasonable time frame that the president will do the needful. How long are you giving? As in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
We don't want to be too specific with that, but reasonability, at least, we expect that within a period of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the president should be able to study the case and then take an action on it. But even in the interest of Attafuah himself, we hope and urge that when he has got into, he should save himself a little reputation that he still has and step down honorably before the president even takes any action.
I'll step it down because conditions of service and John step it down.
I'll step it down because he is not been able to handle the welfare of his employees to satisfaction.
Martin Francis. Medase papa brepemi besaba near baby como chairman of NIA PSWU divisional chairman NIA and din como Francis the aka ne one say why Edino Francis Bangfudeme na that's when you have ya so one ye as we dare dey
Onua 95.1 FM. Yeah, Junimo.